Hi class, in this video we're going to be pan searing steak. Your steak should already be rested for about 20 to 30 minutes before you start this process. Next, grab paper towels that are clean and dab all the moisture off the outside of the steak, off the sides, off the top, and off the bottom. Next, we're going to move to seasoning our steak with kosher salt. Use more than you would think that you'll need because not all of it will end up in that pan. Season the sides, the top, and the bottom. Next, we'll switch to fresh ground pepper. Peel your garlic, leave it in whole form. Put the pan on your burner. I started mine at medium-high. I have a gas range. If you have electric, I would start it at medium if you know it runs hot. If it doesn't get very hot, you can start it at medium-high. Let it get fully heated. Give it about a minute. Then add the oil blend, about 2 tablespoons total, not the entire cup. Allow the oil to heat until shimmering, about 30 seconds. Next, you'll take the pan and kind of move the oil around so that the bottom is fully covered. Next, we're going to add our steak, being very careful to put it in the pan away from us, so if anything splashes, it splashes away. Move it just a 1/4 inch so that the oil is on the bottom of the steak, and then leave it alone. Do not mess with it. You're going to let it sit for 3 minutes without messing with it. If it starts to smoke at all, lower the burner temperature. I set a timer to keep up with how long I needed it in there. Again, it's 3 minutes. Now I'm turning it. Again, you see me shifting the steak just to get a little oil on the bottom. It starts to smoke, so I'm going to lower the heat and make sure I set my timer for 1 minute. You see me raising the pan off the burner to cool it and get it to stop the extra smoke. Now I'm going to add my butter to the tops of the steak. You can put a little pat in between them and around them. It's going to fall anyway. You'll notice that it might start to smoke. Turn the burner down. Add your fresh rosemary and fresh thyme. It might pop a little bit because those herbs have water in them. If they start to burn or anything looks shady, pick the herb up with tongs or with a fork and place it on top of the fillet. Drop your garlic in the pan. You see me pick the herbs up here and place them on top of the fillet because they were starting to get too hot. I didn't want anything to smoke. So both my thyme and my rosemary are on top of my fillet. Now I take a spoon and very carefully start to rinse the butter over the steak. What it's doing is transferring that heat to the top over those herbs and over those garlic, which is going to kind of bring that into the steak. Notice I'm doing this away from myself so that if anything splashes, it will not splash on me. Continue to do this through the last part of your cooking process. I'm fishing the garlic cloves out of the butter here to keep them on top of the steak because I don't want them to burn. Now I go and turn the burner down and all the way off for the last final minute or so because I have a gas range. It was getting very hot and I didn't want it to burn anything. So I turned it off, but I continue to spoon some butter over it for the last part of the cooking process. The total time on side 2 will be about 3 minutes, including what you're watching here. Again, the burner is off. Next, I'm going to very carefully remove the fillet to a clean plate, a different plate than I started with. And I put my steak and herbs and garlic on that plate. You can see the pan is still sizzling because it's hot, even though it's been off for several minutes at this point. So move your pan to a cool part of your stove. Let it rest for 5 full minutes and then cut into it. It should look about like this in the picture.